Okay, hello and welcome to somewhat of a anniversary episode. It's our 10th episode from Revell Model Kit News, and I'm joined by Jürgen today again. Hi Jürgen, how are you?
Hello, Alex. Oh, not too bad today.
Not too bad today. Okay, it's awesome for in East Westphalian German. So today we tackle some interesting and special products, I would say. I quickly share my screen. You can see some of the products we are going to talk about. Jürgen's are on the right side, and the other ones you will hear Ihab talking about shortly. But before we go into figurines and some farming equipment, some really successful farming equipment, I would like to talk with Jürgen about some community comments and questions. And first up, Random Nickify and Andrew Coley had some praise for us and said, okay, it's nice to hear designers talk about the products and product managers, of course. And Nikki praises that the free shipping above a certain threshold, he definitely got a client there. But what would be an interesting question for you, Jürgen, is the one by John Dillon, 8051, about the US spec first generation VW Rabbit Golf GTI. Remember, we talked about the Pirelli Golf several years ago, I think. Is there anything in the planning about the US spec version of the GTI?
Well, in the past we considered parts for the standard Rabbit. Considering a specific US version of the Rabbit, so the GTI, frankly said I cannot tell in the moment. I have to check. It's been about 10 years ago when we developed the item. So I really have to see if we also considered photos of the stuff, if we have really good, reliable, original car in front of us. I have to see if there has been parts realized, then of course we can consider decals and stuff for it. But that's really a point I cannot really confirm in the moment.
Yeah.
I need to cross-check that.
Would be really interesting. I remember the GTI convertible, I think, from Remington Steel.
That was the standard. It was not a GTI, no, it was a standard.
That was
car.
the standard convertible?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And that is actually possible to be assembled. Yeah. Consider that version. As far as I remember, we also had brought the specific number plate on the decal sheet for the car.
Okay, so John, maybe first go with the convertible and then maybe a little bit time the GTI can follow. And Moshi Studios asked about the DTM range. We had this, we have this on another slide as well. So I will skip over here because here in the middle, Remus Full, he asked 2 times already, I guess, if there is a future plan to reissue the DTM model kits from BMW, Mercedes, Audi.
In the moment, actually, not. We tried to bring out, or let's say we brought out some Formula One cars in the past, and the result did not achieve that success we intended to have. Therefore, it's still also on our list. There won't be a release next year, but that's a point we still have on our list. But I do not want to promise anything in the moment. We have to see. It will be a group decision if and what we will release in future.
And I can imagine when you bring out something like DTM cars, there's a lot of licensing work behind that just to get the products out, right?
Yeah, licensing is a very important point. In the past, it depended a little bit on the team. In some cases, it was covered all by one licensor, so you just had to reproduce all the signs and also the specific logos and names and stuff on the car. And there was also teams when it was said every single sponsor has to be contacted on our own.
Wow.
That was a lot
every
of
sponsor
companies.
that's on the car, on the details.
Yes. Oh. And that can be quite a lot to contact to get the okay. It's a little bit time consuming.
Tedious puzzle, I could imagine, to put all those pieces together. Oh, damn. Okay. So the ideal situation would be, okay, you have one licensor for DTM and say, okay, we wouldn't like to make those cars, and they do the whole work of contacting sponsors that are on the cars and the manufacturers of the cars and the licensing for the racing series as well.
That would be the best, for sure.
Yeah, okay. Wow.
And in some cases, this is indeed the fact, which is quite helpful, for sure. In a few cases where it's not, it wasn't so nice to get everyone on the phone, to get in touch with the person in charge. It was a little bit tricky.
Is it okay? Then Ray and Onyx have some questions about some older US cars. Ray asked about the 1970 Mustang Mach-1 kit. With always include factory stock parts whenever you release a kit. And the other one wishes for the 1985 Pontiac Fiero GT and fastback version. Any comments on that?
During the Pontiac, that item has been released in May or June. So it's meanwhile on the market, should be available actually in USA. And actually you can really have a close look on it if it really is all in he is asking for.
Yeah.
So there's a chance to get information about the item already.
Yeah, so the normal GT should be already released in the meantime. And the fastback, is there any thoughts on doing a fastback version as well?
They might be included. I didn't check it because it is a really mere US car item. And therefore our US colleagues have more, let's say they release typical US car versions. And in this case, for example, I didn't even see the tool.
Ah, okay. And the Mustang Mach-1 from 2011? So the kit is from 2011. And
I know it's a standard item available. Guess it's in the moment it's not out. No, it should not be released. But it's a topic we can bring on the list as well.
Yeah.
Since we made the Mustang from 1971 as well, and therefore it can be an issue. Yeah.
Since we're doing the shows, we have several wish lists that are growing and growing and growing.
But you see, just a few we had in a moment. I've seen on the foil before. It's been a person asking for 1 to 144 aircraft, and we get every day a flood of ideas, wishes about re-releases and stuff. We cannot consider all. It's simply too much. If you get every day about 10, 12 ideas, sum it up what it means in a year, it's an extreme list, and the list goes on and on and on. So, we have to limit ourselves to a certain amount.
Definitely.
It's simply not possible.
Yeah, and as we said about the DTM cars, often there's work attached to a product that is not obviously on the first look, because sure, it would be easy to reissue just the tool and produce the product, but there are so many other steps in the process to bring it back on the market that you have to see through, and that you have to decide, okay, is it that successful in the end when it's really released. Okay, Jonas asked about more 007 models, some James Bond models. The Lotus S.S.B from The Spy Who Loved Me. Yeah, that was cool. I remember that one.
Actually, there had been a sample, or let's say an item existed in the past. It was not our tool, it's from somebody else. But that tool is, I will not say destroyed, but has been so much production out of it, so it cannot be reactivated. In that case, it would mean to completely create the S.S.B again.
Wow, okay.
So it would be a complete new development. That's also a point we need to discuss in-house.
Yeah.
Idea is not bad for sure, but we also have to keep in mind, due to the license contracts, there's basic payment also asked for.
Yeah.
Minimum guarantee sum. And if this exceeds a certain level and simply becomes too expensive, well, the Lotus is on the list, it makes sense, but we have to cross-check it. It will be a point also of calculation.
Yeah, and you have to also consider you have to talk to Lotus about the car, and then you have to talk with the agency that has a James Bond license. And I could imagine that it's not if you are talking about that specific car from that specific movie, then maybe it's a completely different agency that manages that license, and it's a complex
we didn't
process.
go so deep in this topic.
No.
But actually, yes, you would have two licenses. Well, license agencies. Yes, yes.
And Go Red Go from Seattle, another US question. So he points out that his automotive interests are split with US and European. He purchases both. He has some VW kits, but specifically asked, and his last question I'm really interested in as well. He specifically asked about Opel model kits like the Manta R or Ascona. And I'm wondering myself, did there never be an Opel Manta R or even Manta B as a model kit?
For example, we made as in the form of a slot car, but the racing version, not the standard car. As a model kit, no, does not exist.
And a Manta also didn't exist?
As diecast ready-made, yes, but not as model kit.
Okay. Wow, I always thought for those people who are not that into German cars, like the Opel Manta was the direct competitor to the Golf GTI, and there's a lot of jokes and a lot of cultural things from German subculture from the 70s and 80s around those two specific cars, like the VW GTI Rabbit drivers on the one side and the Opel Manta drivers on the other side. So it might still be a really interesting model to think about, but I wasn't aware that there never was an Opel Manta. Interesting.
Well, the cars he is referring to still come from a time when Opel was very successful. That was also related to their success in motorsports. So in general, that was a, let's say, famous period of time for Opel. They've been very successful and popular as a civilian car for some decades. In the 70s and 80s were a very strong period for them.
Yeah.
So Opel in general, actually has a good point.
Wishlist +1. Yeah, so Steven points out, and I talked about that with Luke last episode in the aviation product spot as well, that we have new boxes now. He got delivered the BMW Isetta Special Edition in one of the new boxes. Is there anything you can share about the new box design?
Yeah, the Isetta is a little bit specific because we have a book inside. So it's not a standard item where you have the mere plastic packed inside the box. And there's also a segment where a special position for the book is considered. Therefore, it's a very special, we call it exclusive item. There are some model kits already brought out with the book inside, and this will be continued from time to time. So this is a very special exception. But in general, we started to change the box design. It's not as in the past, a box to be opened on the side. That's it. You now have a chance to flap it open, so it's a foldable box, which allows you to store the stuff inside when you interrupt the work on it. So it comes back around to storage possibility. And also the thickness of the box is also increased. Yeah.
Luke said that for most of the aviation models that are coming out now, they already chose to use the new box design. Monrias asked about Babylon 5 re-releases. I guess that is definitely a +1 on the wish list. But are those products you were involved in?
No, that has been before my time. I know we have toolings still around. Of course, it will be also points of the tool conditions. But I'm not aware if there's any, as far as I heard, there's no re-release or a new series or new movie. So it was just related to the stuff which has been broadcasted years ago. Yeah, okay.
It was a really cool science fiction series. I remember that as well. But I wasn't even aware that we had model kits from that time.
This Babylon 5 station, and the humans had been involved in kind of fight, let's put it this way, with some shadow creatures. But as he mentioned it, I will bring it also on the list, and we will see.
And last question by Rob is about the 1970 AMC Javelin SST, and he talks about that that there was a tooling by Johan, but that's gone. He knows that the tooling seems to be gone, and he's wondering that many would love to see that car available again. I think it wasn't in our US line, the AMC Javelin, right? Or did we have that?
Well, it didn't appear, as far as I know, in the European program. Maybe in the past somewhere in the USA.
Yeah,
it's a little bit special, but not a bad choice.
It's interesting, definitely interesting choice. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a look on it. Maybe we can find. It depends where the tools are and in which condition.
Yeah. Okay. So then we switch over to one of the other really special products. And when I heard we are going to release World of Warcraft figurines as model kits, I was quite excited. I mean, my times that I played, it was in another, when I was working in another company in the marketing department 16, 17 years ago or so. And it was always in the daytime, we worked together, 5 people. And in the evening, we met in World of Warcraft and we played like deep in the night and then talked at work about what happened in WoW. And in the game, we talked about work. It was really, really fun, really fun time. But I'm wondering, how did Revell come up with the UOE, with the World of Warcraft models?
The question actually is why not? It's a very well-known and well-liked game, very popular, very famous. And we wanted to try out the acceptance of figures, and therefore we said, okay, let's try it and choose, or let's take one of the most well-known and interesting games. And so actually we came to World of Warcraft.
And how did you choose those 2 figurines? We talk about the Lich King and later on the figurine of Thrall, the orc.
Just a moment to show the size of the model, to get an idea how big it is or how tall.
Okay, put it a little bit more in the middle of the camera. Yeah, that's...
Can it be seen?
Ooh, yeah, I can see it. Oh, that looks good.
It's not exactly the final painting scheme. There are some requests for changes which are currently being adopted. So we can see it on the foil where it basically ends. The reason why choosing the character, what are the main characters of World of Warcraft? And we also get in touch with Blizzard and also ask the guys what would be their suggestion. We get a kind of, let's say, top 10 figures to choose from. And among the upper 3 feasible figures was, of course, the Lich King and Thrall, the orc. Because of being so famous or popular and have such a central meaning in the game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Lich King is one of the first expansion kit, so he's on in the title, and Thrall makes so many appearances in the game. But both are, I mean, the Lich King is one of the villains or one of the main bosses you fight. Thrall is from the Horde side. Are there any plans in the pipeline for doing a character from the Alliance side as well? I know those questions are coming when we are talking about World of Warcraft, so I just asked it up front.
Of course, there are still more feasible characters for sure, no doubt. But we will start first and see the reaction of the market. What we get as a feedback when we exhibited it was very positively. But we want to see first how well it really works. You see, and if that is quite successful, then yeah, let's put it this way, there's a little bit in the pipeline.
Okay, cool. Yeah, then for all of those who want to ask in the comments, you can still ask, of course, which ones may be coming or so. We will see when we can answer that question. I said it was in the first. It was in the second expansion kit, Wrath of the Lich King, in 2007. It came out, and it's a really popular main boss that has a great story. I mean, there's an alliance story behind it because he was the Lich King figure. He was a paladin in the beginning. Actually, in Warcraft 3 already in the strategy game, and I think in that game he was a boss already, and in that game he killed his father and then became and transformed into the Lich King because of this sword, I think, the Frost Sword.
Yeah, it's a combination. It's actually the Lich King has not been only a human. It's there are different figures becoming the Lich King, and in this version it's a human being. And once he had put on the helmet,
yes,
and so also get attached to, or let's say, hands on the sword. That in combination changed his mind, his character, and from the friendly person he changed to the, let's say, evil Lich King, because of the influence of helmet and also the sword.
Yeah. It's the Frostmourne, the sword, and he joins with the soul or the undead soul of the Lich King, and then
exactly.
And then he transforms into the super villain who can control with mind control through the helmet, can control the undead. It's a really cool story.
It's not exactly a curse, but or it was not really damned, but he changed the character due to the influence of helmet and sword.
That's what Blizzard is so great in building all this backstory. And if you want to just play the game and just have fun with the game, you can do that. And if you want to get into the lore and into the whole background story of all the figures in the game, then you have lots to read and lots to experience, and especially about the Lich King. But also the fight, when you have to fight him, I think that was fights you have to build a raid group between 10 or 15 and 25 people to fight him. And when you get him down to, spoiler alert, who didn't play World of Warcraft, or who is this close to defeating the Lich King, stop the video and skip several minutes. But when you bring him down to 10% health, then he kills the whole group, and everybody's like, what did we do wrong? What do we have to do? And then two other NPC characters come to the scene and resurrect the players and help you to finally kill him. That was when I first experienced that. That was really, really fun, because everybody was like, what's happening? What's happening now? It's really, really fun. What Blizzard has always built around that stories. So about the figurine. How hard is it to build? Do you have to be an
No. You do not need specific knowledge. And the good advantage is it's not extremely big, so not a meter or so. Mm-hmm. So you can simply put it beside the monitor, and what you see on the screen is exactly right beside of you. Mm-hmm. Assembly doesn't really need specific experience or talent. You simply need a cutter to get the parts out of the frame. Just around a little bit more than 50 parts, quite easy to do. So no specific skills necessary.
Ah, cool. And it comes
and we show the how to paint and what to paint. In a few cases, colors are mixed, and these mixed color are put already in a small a small container, and the container is included. So the person who wants to paint it does not have to mix it on their own. It just opens the can and takes the color out of it, and that's it.
Ooh, so it's
all colors he needs already in.
Nice. So with pre-mixed colors, I knew that it's a built-in paint and that it's coming with colors, but they are pre-mixed in the right amount.
Yeah.
Wow. Is it the first time that we did that?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's also because when you are a fan of World of Warcraft, you might be model builder, you might not.
Yeah.
Just to really make sure that also a beginner who is not so familiar with model building has a good result, we decided to bring out this kind of specific color mixture.
That is a really cool decision. I mean, I could think that normally that is one of the main reasons people skip that one. Maybe they would love to build it, but they think, then I have to buy like 10 or 15 colors and have to mix them. And so everything included. And yeah, that's really
every color is included. Of course, the glue is not included. But you have all the paints. The glue is included. Sorry, you have the cutter is not included correctly. Yeah, it should make it as easy as possible for you. Mm-hmm. Therefore, you simply open the can and you can start right away.
Nice. Okay, and the whole figurine you showed it in the camera. It's going about 15 centimeters, right? 30.9.
I put the hand inside beside it, so maybe have a chance to get an idea how small, how big it is.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Cool. And the other one we already mentioned it is the Orc Thrall. It's going to be the same system, right? The built-in paint system with the pre-mixed colors.
Yep. We are in the moment in contact with Blizzard considering some colors. They would like to have, in some cases, the shade a little bit darker, a little bit brighter. And that's what we are currently in the process to define. Mm. And once we come to the point where they say, okay, that is exactly what we want to have, or let's say make this and that darker, once we can really see it's matching their demands, then we can start to prepare the mixing of the respective colors. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, it will be the same approach as Lich King.
It's a really, really interesting character, in my opinion, to have on your desk and look at him and...
He's not a simple fighter, definitely not. He changed also a little bit his character, as you already said during the game. Later on, it is still a fighter, but it's more to protect his own people. Mm. And he also gets contact a little bit with magic as well. So it's not, it's a very aspect, which makes it also so interesting. Yeah. So definitely. If you go a little bit deeper, he really has an interesting history. And it's not a plain, simple person, or let's say orc in this case. Yeah, both, or let's say they will not come out in the same period of time. Lich King will be first. And depends a little bit on how fast Blizzard will say, okay, that is the final result or not, if we have to change a little bit. Mm-hmm. So it could be a month difference between them, maybe two. Mm-hmm. It depends a little bit on license. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then from this greenish character, we have another green vehicle, and it's the Fendt Vario 728 tractor, which is it's just 2 months ago or so. The numbers came out, and it's the most successful.
Also here a little bit.
Yeah, there it is.
Maybe you can see the open door.
Yeah, the door is open.
Yeah. So you have a chance to look also inside.
Yeah, and it's the most successful tractor of the year 2024. Fendt is the most successful manufacturer in Germany. The numbers of how many tractors were licensed or were bought in that year. Fendt had a market share of 25%. So every fourth tractor that was bought in Germany 2024 was a Fendt. So it's really, really successful tractor. And I mean, I remember the last time that I was sitting on a tractor is at least 30 years ago, 35 years ago, no, more 35 years ago. And when I look in one of those, it's so luxurious. It's so cool. You can spend the whole day in there, and you have climate control in there.
When you assemble the stuff, you also will see and notice the decoration for 3 different kind of monitors.
Ooh.
And then also we have, of course not included, but we have the smartphone holder also considered. There's no smartphone in, but gives you maybe an idea. Yeah, how many technical features are inside in a modern tractor nowadays?
Yeah.
You might know we also brought out a small tractor in 1:24 scale of a Fendt from the late 1950s. And if you put them beside, just to get an idea how small or big, how many changes have been come in the last decades, it's enormous. It's actually very technical, superb vehicle. Every modern tractor, there's so much technique inside. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Actually, if once you have driven a little bit, it's GPS connected. You can take off the hands from the steering wheel, and it could work on its own.
Yeah.
And you should stand beside it. The front wheels, or let's say the rear wheels, are taller than you as a person.
Yeah, they're huge.
That's great. It's amazing. But it's really high technology. The development, from my point of view, compared to the last 20 years, is even more advanced and was even more intensive as compared to tractors, to trucks. So the development technique inside.
I mean, of course, a truck has almost one purpose, and a tractor has to do so many things and have to work well in so many different terrains and on so many different surfaces. There goes a lot of development into those machines. What were the most interesting parts to develop on the model, from your opinion?
First of all, it was very important, and we were lucky to get let's say the outer shape from Fendt. Helped really a lot. Or let's say it's not so unusual to get more or less just the outer shape. So there was not so much around for the interior or the engine itself. Then we had a chance later on, later than I wanted to have it, but a chance to really get photos, get measurements on the engine, on the interior, so really make sure the ruler could really see the thickness, the length, the shape, and so on. And it could be really matched to the car, to the photos, just to make sure you have really good defined documentation for development of the tools. So that in combination helped a lot, and then pushed it forward. In general, if you see the stuff, you really feel there's so much engineering work inside.
Yeah.
That is really well reflected. And the character of the modern tractor is really well kept and realized.
It's a click system, so you don't have to glue anything. So I would say younger kids who are really into tractors could build it together with some help of parents as well, right?
It has more than 200 parts, so it's not in, let's say, half an afternoon. It takes a little bit more time.
Yeah.
But of course, we have the decoration by decals, but also stickers. You can assemble it by portions. So let's say the basic underneath, then the engine combination, the lower part assembled, and then a few days later on the cabin. So you can split it in portions if you want to. No need to glue. If you want to, of course you can. You can do it. The door is movable, left side door. You can open also the bonnet, and also if you want to, remove the cover from the engine. It's normally all closed nowadays, quite normal, common. So you can have a look into the engine, and of course the wheels are turning. For sure. It's not really a toy, that's not, but it can of course move. And as I said, when you open the door, you can also have a really good look inside.
Yeah, it's not like to really play with it all the time. After you build it, it's better to put it on the shelf and look at it, or look
you
at
can move,
specific
but it's
features.
not the standard really toy.
Yeah.
To touch it, to move a little bit, no problem at all. But it's not really that toy.
Yeah.
You spend hours and hours. Well.
It's more to really resemble the complexity of the whole
Yes,
machine
yes.
and to
really
experience it while you build it.
Yeah, and to really get a little bit feeling of the original, and really see, to get a feeling of what it means to have a modern truck in front of you.
All right, then the last product we have this week is the Iron Maiden 50th anniversary tour truck. They are already on tour, right?
They are already on tour.
Eddie.
I hope you can see it a little bit. That's a decorated model we have from the band.
I switched to you.
And we got the approval just yesterday for final production, so we can start now right away.
Yeah.
We wanted to be a little bit early on the market, actually, close to the start of the tour, which normally would have worked, but the team itself said they would like to have a different approach considering the decoration. There was also an idea to not allow, for example, Eddie in this way in the beginning. So it was a little bit related to the band, and I wanted to get a decoration a little bit changed. Anyhow, but it's normal licensing issues, therefore we now get the okay, and therefore we will be out in, now we face the issue of production and summer holidays. But presumably, from my point of view, it will be early September.
Oh, okay. And I mean, the tour is going during 2025 and 26.
Yes. And of course, the 50 years anniversary is still this year.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's still fitting quite well.
Yeah. Do you know how many trucks they do have on this tour?
Oh, no.
It must be 20, 30, 40 trucks.
Yeah, it's a huge amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, extremely a lot of equipment inside. It's amazing how much is really transported from A to B.
When you're an Iron Maiden fan, and you think, okay, maybe we have the Airbus. No, it's the Boeing. The Boeing. We have the plane. The Ed Force One as a model for friends. We had the Spitfire, the Eddie Spitfire. I think it's not in production right now. We have the tour truck. I guess the tour truck might be the best entry point for Iron Maiden fans who want to build a model, but maybe shy away a little bit from the complexity of model building.
Yeah, the big advantage here is that it's very easy to build. You do not need specific knowledge, not really so much talent. Of course, you need a cutter as well as usually, and also glue, which is not included. But a lot of parts can still be snapped together. They should be glued to make sure they really stay in position, but it's not really hard. A lot of parts are already in black, silver parts already exist, so the need to paint is really reduced. That's the reason why we choose also this item, because the demand, or let's say the difficulty to realize it, is not so high. The idea is that the fan really has a chance to produce, or let's say to build an item on his own without a lot of specific abilities. Nearly possible for everybody. And then the decoration is also realized in a way that it's you can train a little bit, but it's not so hard to bring on. So and therefore, you can.
I mean, you have a really
but
big model after that.
It's a little bit more than half a meter, but doesn't require so much space in a shelf or so. Being so thin, or let's say not so broad, and therefore so you can create your own fan article, which is a quite nice idea. And we looked for an item where it's really not hard to assemble, So the fan can be satisfied quite easily and have stuff in front of him he created himself from the band he likes the most.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So I would say then we can wrap this up from the car and farming and World of Warcraft side. And I shortly switch over to Ihab. Thanks, Jürgen, for your time.
Of course, you're welcome.
And looking forward to our next episode. I think we to skip the next one. I will see Luke in the next one, and then we speak again in the one after that.
Okay.
Alrighty. Have a great day. Bye.
You too as well. Okay. So long.
Oh, and here I am now with Ihab, and it's our 5th or 2nd attempt because the software that we are recording with is throwing rocks at us like crazy. How are you again?
Hi, Alex. I'm fine again, and I hope you too.
Yeah, let's see how long we can record now. So we start right away in case it stops on us. Here we go. So the first product we two are going to talk about is Naruto Uzumaki. It's a figurine again, like in Jürgen's set. And it's one of the most successful manga series of all time. In 2024, it was watched for like 30 million hours watch time on Netflix. I mean, that is huge. I can remember last summer my daughter read those massive mangas, 24 of them, and we calculated after the summer that she read like 17,000 pages of Naruto. Which is a lot. And she really is looking forward to building him.
Yeah, great.
How did the idea come up to do a Naruto figure?
First of all, I'm a big Naruto fan, so I grew up with Naruto and I watched Naruto since I was a child. I know it's a very, very big series, manga and anime, so there are a lot of fans. There is a big community behind Naruto, and it's nothing new to create a figurine or a diorama figure in model kit area. So for me and for my mind, it's not too far from model building to create an anime figurine in a diorama as a diorama kit.
Yeah. And it can be a great entry point for fans of the series to build this as their first model, and then maybe they discover, oh, that's quite a nice hobby. I would like to stick to that.
Yeah, sure. It's a click model, so it is for fans, and it is an entry model kit with good and high detail. So there are stickers with it and decals. So we want to reach model kit fans and anime fans.
Yeah, and it's quite easy to build, right? You don't even have to paint it because it's pre-painted. You only have to put on the decals and the stickers, right?
Right. So it's mold in color. The fans don't have to paint it, and all additional parts that have to be colored will be delivered in as a decal or a sticker.
But if you are an experienced model builder or somebody in your family is an experienced model builder, you still can take the whole model and paint it afterwards or build something more into the diorama scene, right?
Sure, this is possible. So the material is the same like for other model kits, so we are not limited here.
So let's take a look at the diorama. Here's Naruto throwing one of his, how are those balls called? Do you know it?
Rasengan.
My daughter knew it immediately. So here we see the side view of the build model. And I mean, that is already pretty detailed. It almost looks like somebody painted over it, right?
Yeah. That's we see here the official 3D image of our model kit. So this is the scene that we present and that you can build. Click system diorama figure, and here we can see Naruto doing his special move. We say it before. It's the Rasengan. Yeah, it's iconic. So his attack is iconic, the scene is iconic. It's important minutes of the show where Naruto is presenting the fans the Rasengan and is confronted with his friend.
So it's 37 parts, right? The figure is in 1 to 16, and it gets up to a height of 11.7, 12 centimeters, right?
No, it's with the base and the back, it's like 15 centimeters.
Ah, yeah, right. The back is squared. It's 15, so it's like a 15 centimeter cube that you get with the whole scene, right?
Right.
Nice. So a similar question that I asked Jürgen about the World of Warcraft figures. Are there any other plans for Sasuke or Sasuke, as he called in Japanese, or Sakura or Hinata for next figures?
Yeah, I would like to leave that open for now. First and foremost, I'm looking positive to start of the Naruto Uzumaki figure. Sure, I'm looking forward to a successful future of this whole line. So I'm open. I hope the fans will check out first of all the Naruto figurine.
I thought I'll be quicker than the comments because people are going to ask in the comments anyway. So I thought, okay, I ask it up front. And hey, if a lot of people buy this model kit, then I'm pretty sure Ihab does everything to get the other figures out there as well. Cool. So I'm looking forward to that. I think when we talk next time, I can report on how our build was going.
Great. Yeah.
So as iconic as Naruto is, it's the next model as well. It's the HMMWV M109. Yeah, I would say one of the most important and most famous military vehicles. Absolute legend. I watched quite a lot of YouTube videos over the winter. Funny, I just remembered, of people in the US who bought one of those M109s from army depots, which were really on a heavy use and much loved, I would say. And then some of those guys, they bought their vehicles in California, and then they two of them, and then they made a road trip of driving them home to Oregon or so. And that is quite an adventure, like driving 1,000, 2,000 miles in this thing that was used by the army for 20 years or so.
Oh, yeah.
Having one of those in Germany, I knew when I was in auto blogging, I visited a guy who had a little repair shop for Hummers and the M109s. And he said that he did a trip to France with one of those. European streets are a little bit narrow for this kind of vehicle from time to time.
I think the vehicle is too
wide. Yeah, it's really wide for the
I think it's too wide for the German streets or European streets. So it's more an US car, and it's used not only for military. So
yeah, and it was produced like more than 150,000 units, I think, by the Army and the Marine Corps. Our version that we are offering here, the 7A2, is it represents several advancements, right? It's like it has a higher capacity, up to almost 2 tons, when I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's right. And here we have a big range for final drawings for the M109. So we have many final drawings that are possible in our kit. You have just to follow the instruction sheet and check the ending options. Yeah, with this, the decal sheet is very large, and we had a lot of interior details, decals, and for the exterior. So there is a big range for this kind of vehicle to add different versions for it.
So we have some of those numbers that might point in the right direction which unit the car is belonging to. And there are lots and lots and lots of details on the car here.
Oh yeah,
As you said,
it's very detailed. So we have especially the surfaces and the gear and the chassis are very high detailed. So yeah, you had a lot of parts for them.
Yeah, I can imagine that must be a blast to build this one. And highly detailed cockpit, as far as you can say that it's a cockpit, because a cockpit of this vehicle, it doesn't have that much details in comparison to some of our other cars or military vehicles. But yeah, I mean, if you imagine like driving around with those while building and having this massive tunnel in the middle where you can actually repair some parts of the car while driving. So when I was driving as a passenger in one of those, you have really, really little space on the right side on the passenger seat because this block in the middle takes so much space. But you can do a lot of things to the car from the inside, and you can repair and do a lot of maintenance from inside there.
No, great. That's a good information for additional option of this kit.
Yeah, it's still I when I read about it again, just doing an engine maintenance is like over 30 hours or 35 hours. It's almost like it's a plane. So the guys who are working on that thing have really, really lots to do. But it's a workhorse in a lot of different scenarios and conditions.
Yeah, sure.
Wonderful. It's a great build for the summer, I guess, because driving around in that thing, you just imagine great weather, sitting inside there and driving around the neighborhood. Must be really fun.
Oh, yeah.
Must also cost a lot of liters of diesel or petrol. So it's much cheaper to build it at home.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, and then we have another great military model kit. It's the Submarine S.S.B. Abraham Lincoln, one of the first nuclear submarines. And just tell me a little bit about what's the specialty about this model kit here.
Yeah, we see it here on the photo. So it's an historical model kit from our toolings, and we labeled it as Revell Classics. It's a real Revell classic and the classic in model history. The model is historical and comes with a newly drawn instruction sheet and improved decals, so you don't get an old kit and here, take it. So it's with improved instruction manual and decals. And we see this is a cutaway model, so you can see the inside of the model. That's the specialty of this Abraham Lincoln kit.
Yeah. And there are lots of cool details in there. I think that is it really hard to build? It looks quite hard with all those little pieces in there.
So it's not very hard to build. It's if you ask me, it's easy to build. There is a specialty for this kit. You see it here. It's you have an authentic view of the inside, so you can see like the command center, crew quarters, and some of the engine room. So there are mostly the details for drawings and for decals. So this is maybe a part that can be a bit difficult, but if you ask me, I would say it's a good option. It's to start, and maybe you have to build before 1 or 2 models to take this as a next step for you.
Yeah, but I could imagine that it's really fulfilling and satisfying to have this model and this cutaway. I totally forgot that we have products like this in our portfolio. Normally you see something like that in museums and for educational purposes. But it makes, I mean, normally if you build a submarine, it's a long tube. It's not that interesting to look at sometimes. Only if you're really, really into submarines and if you're a total submarine fan. But this, I think, is interesting for every model builder because there are so many cool details on that, and it's so interesting to look at when you're finished.
Yeah, especially the old submarines. It's important what is inside. So this was the core idea of this kit. To bring the special features of the model kit to a display stand and present it to fans and model lovers.
Do you know from the top of your head how old the whole kit is originally?
Oh, I think it's like from the 60s.
I thought so because the Abraham Lincoln was laid down in Portsmouth in 1958, and then it was graced in 1960 by the great-granddaughter of Abraham Lincoln himself. She's called Mary L. Beckwith, and she graced the ship of her with the name of her great-grandfather on it, which I found really interesting. And then it was stationed in Scotland for 20 years or so in Holy Loch, which is a fascinating story for itself. The whole story about the naval base there for all the submarines. And here we have the back of the package. It's also a build and paint package, so you get the most important colors and the glue and everything that you need for a starter. So the colors are listed on the back there.
Yeah,
and it's a great kit, I think, to start building, because you have a wonderful end result that's interesting to look at.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so then we have it for this episode. Thanks Jürgen again, thanks Ihab for your time and telling us a little bit about the upcoming products in this summer, and we are really looking forward to what you have in store for us in autumn, around September, October, when we talk again. What are you going to do for the summer? Do you have holiday already planned, or are you going to work through the summer?
I will have holiday, but not in this summer direct, so it's more in October.
Nice.
I will go to Oman, to the city Muscat. Yeah.
Nice. That's quite a travel, but in October, I think the temperatures there might be quite much nicer than if you would go now, right?
Yeah, that's the main reason why October and not July. So I think in this time they have 45, 50, up to 55 degrees. So yeah, it's not the best temperature for us. So I think October is a better choice.
Yeah, wonderful. So you are going to hold the ground, or du hältst die Stellung in the summer while everybody else is going on vacation.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Right. All right, then thank you, Ihab, and until next time.
Thank you, Alex.
Looking forward to it.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.